Well, hey there, happy Saturday, and thanks for joining us for News 19 at 6. I'm Rachel Ripp. We have had some amazing weather today. Hopefully you've been outside. It's been the perfect temperature to be outside, take a walk, maybe by the river. Honestly, I'm selfishly hoping it'll stay this way the rest of the weekend and into this week. What do we think, Bree? Will the sun stick around?
Well, I do have some good news for you. The warm weather going to be sticking around for at least the next 7 days and into the beginning of February. But right now, today, we saw that high of 68, 10 degrees above our normal of 58. We even got a warm start this morning at 42 compared to average. Here's what we're seeing right now. Pleasant sunsets, pretty clear skies, a few clouds out there, but still mostly clear. We're not seeing any rain anywhere, so the entire Midlands is clear. A few clouds, but still mostly clear out there. Temperatures right now in the low 60s, 63 in Columbia, 64 in Lexington, 62 in St. Matthews, 60 in Sumter. The northern Midlands have already gotten down into the upper 50s. Manning as well, 59 in Camden, Winsboro at 57. So it is going to stay comfortable out there for the next little bit. You still have some time and enjoy the evening. For the next few hours, we will drop into the 50s after 8 o'clock, and we will see that through the rest of the night. We'll actually get down into the 40s for those lows, but the high temperatures are going to continue to stay well above normal, and normal is 58 degrees for the beginning of February, and we're looking at highs on Tuesday of 78, Thursday 79. So that's over 20 degrees above where we normally would be at this time of year. So for our Midlands forecast, we're going to stay dry and pretty clear overnight. We could see a few clouds, but still going to be staying dry and mostly clear. We could get a little bit of fog as well tomorrow morning, but looking ahead at tomorrow afternoon, we will see some off and on clouds, so a partly cloudy day, but again, we are not expecting any rain through the weekend, so it's going to be a great time to get outside and soak in this warmer weather, especially after all the cold weather that we've had. It's definitely a nice welcomed break from the cold, but lows tonight in the low 40s for everyone in the Midlands, so staying pretty comfy into the tomorrow. We'll be in the upper 50s and low 60s for those highs. A little bit of a light breeze around 6 miles per hour, so pretty calm tomorrow. And looking at the next 7 days, we are going to see the sunny and warm conditions sticking around into the start of the week. Temperatures going to warm up as well. Our lows next week are going to get in the 50s, 56 for that low on Thursday. A few chances for some rain as we head into the end of the week, but staying very low right now and not looking to be a washout or anywhere near a washout, but it is going to be very warm. Rachel.
Thanks, Bree. New tonight, Richland County deputies tell us a man is behind bars for criminal sexual conduct with a minor. His name is Johnny Rios. Authorities say it was reported on Christmas Day that the 21-year-old was sexually involved with a minor under the age of 16. Then on January 30th, just 2 days ago, when Richland County deputies served a search warrant at Rios's home, they found him in the company of another minor under the age of 16. Deputies say at this time there are no allegations that Rios was sexually involved with this minor. He's since been transported and booked at the Richland County Jail. Also new tonight, Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott says his department is investigating an assault that happened at the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center on Thursday. According to the Sheriff's Department, deputies responded to this assault Thursday around 1 in the afternoon. Jail staff told deputies that one victim was transported to the hospital with a head injury after being attacked by another inmate. Staff said the suspect also spit on 2 staff members while being detained. The Sheriff's Department says they're investigating and charges are coming. Turning now to some continuing coverage. Tonight, 7 families are without a home after crews responded to a fire at the Hampton Green Apartments off Gills Creek Parkway. Take a look at this video. It's from the scene last night, and residents of the apartment complex sent it to us. You can see the fire taking over these apartments, particularly on the roof. Columbia Fire tells us crews arrived to the scene just before midnight, where they found a heavy fire coming from one building and flames spreading through the roof. Thankfully, all residents escaped and no injuries were reported. Fire officials say the fire still remains under investigation and roughly 18 people were displaced. Speaking of fires, tonight we have an update on the 2 Columbia firefighters who were injured during a fire back in August. Firefighters Mario Trejo and Bryce Minnick are back in action at the station. News 19's Shannon Taylor talks with these first responders about what got them through this challenging time.
I've received gifts from the Seattle Fire Department, the LA Fire Department, Atlanta Fire. I don't know how they got my address. I've received shirts from them, letters. Firefighters from Europe have messaged me on Facebook. It's been crazy.
Dang.
So I mean, the brotherhood is real, and also the community. You know, being born here in Columbia, it just feels great to know that the city that I love loves me too.
Love and gratitude are the two words both Mario Trejo and Bryce Minnick feel after spending the last quarter of 2024 in recovery after a fire back in August. This was Minnick's first big fire with partner Trejo since joining the force last spring, a scene he will never forget.
While he was trying to force the front door, I was flowing water through the right side of the building, trying to get just water on there before we take the door down. And ladder 7 took that door down, and then honestly, next thing I know is I was being pulled away, and my leg was pretty messed up. I could not breathe well.
However, for Trejo, it was a different story.
Next thing we know, the exterior brick wall fell down and fell on us. And that's when I was unconscious for a while, I believe, and Minnick was still conscious, but then they dragged us out, and that's when they called the Mayday.
After the fire, Minnick recalls not hearing of Trejo's condition until the following week, suffering from several injuries in the hospital.
I had a cracked skull, I had a brain bleed, I had facial fractures, some broken ribs, a collapsed and punctured lung, and some other stuff, but those were the big ones.
I broke my ankle in a couple spots, fractured 3 vertebrae, and fractured my kneecap. And so I got surgery on my ankle, and then I let the rest heal on its own.
They say family and friends were turned away from visiting them in the hospital while recovering, but still felt the love near and far.
But it was crazy to see my face up on people's things, people I didn't even know, and getting money from people I had no idea even knew I existed. So I mean, that was nice to see. I'll tell you that. It was great to see that.
It's been surreal. In the hospital, when I was still kind of out of it, there were at least 4 trucks coming to see me every day. It got to the point where they had to tell them to calm down a little bit because I was so tired I wasn't resting.
It's an experience both agree still scare them, but are grateful for the community support and to be alive.
So when I did go back home, when I did make it home, it was so happy seeing everybody, being able to walk through my house. I never thought I would see my family again, you know, but we're here.
Agreed. I do thank God that we're here.
Shannon Taylor, News 19, WLTX.
And we're told Minnick got back on the floor on December 6th, but Trejo still has 3 more surgeries and is expected to be back on the ground full force by 2026. Well, tonight, Sumter police are asking for your help to find a missing 15-year-old. Her name is Khalees Benjamin. Police say she hasn't come back home after leaving her house on English Turn without permission yesterday. She's described as 5'5" and weighs about 140 pounds. She was last seen wearing black jogging pants and a black tank top. If you have any information on where she could be sure to call the Sumter Police Department. That number is on your screen, 803-436-2700. Lawmakers at the State House are debating how to address the rising costs of liquor liability insurance. This is the insurance bars and restaurants need to protect themselves if a customer causes harm after drinking. Some business owners say skyrocketing rates and a lack of providers are forcing them to cut hours or even close down. A 2017 law requires bars to carry $1 million policy to cover damages, but some owners say they can no longer afford it. Marty Dresden, who owns Bar None, says he can't find coverage past 2 a.m., forcing him to scale back.
I have a total of 12 employees. I would say at least half of them, it's like taking a day of work away from them. You know, and they all live paycheck to paycheck or tips from one day to the next. So, you know, you drop their hours by 10 hours a week, that's going to affect them a lot.
Now, a legislative committee recently recommended changes, including limiting the amount that bars can be held liable in lawsuits and strengthening DUI laws. Well, check this out. Today being the first day of February and the first day of Black History Month, over at the Riverbanks Botanical Garden this morning, people of all ages showed up for a sweetgrass basket making class. One of the instructors, Mary Graham Grant, said it's called sewing sweetgrass, not weaving. And you can make baskets, earrings, necklaces, or even bracelets with the native South Carolina plant.
Sweetgrass basketry originated in Africa. When the enslaved people were brought to this country, this was a type of basketry that they brought with them. And the sweetgrass was grown in South Carolina mostly. We have some over here. And the sweetgrass, we had to bind it with something. They have palmetto is what they found to bind it with. And that's what they use. And yes, when they bind it, they have to have something to put a hole in the sweetgrass. And this is when we use a nail bone. And a nail bone is a spoon or a fork with the ends cut off and filed down. And we use it to put a path in the sweetgrass.
Now, this instructor tells us sweetgrass is actually a dying art because of low country development. The plant is getting harder and harder to find, and it's often growing in Mount Pleasant or Charleston. Well, today, Meat Place Church of Greater Columbia held their Family and Friends Day. The event kicked off a weekend full of celebrations to commemorate the church's 25th anniversary. Attendees got to enjoy food trucks, games, and music. Michael Parker, the program director for the church, says they focus on giving back to the community.
The Meeting Place, in our 25 years of ministry, we've always been about the community. Everything we've done is about giving back, pouring resources back in the community, whether that's meals, whether that's programs, whatever it is, we always try to give back. So in 25 years of celebrating that, we thought, what better way to do that than to bring the community in, do what we always do, give a free meal, and just allow people a chance to have a good time, enjoy some music, be out in this beautiful weather, in this beautiful sun, and just be amongst friends and family.
And the church will continue its celebration tomorrow with a special worship service starting at 11 a.m. Well, if you love antiques, listen up. There's a one-stop shop at the State Fairgrounds this weekend. It's called Vintage Market Days, and organizers say it features upscale vintage market items, original art, antiques, clothing, and jewelry. News 19's photojournalist Ryan Johnson takes us inside.
So many of our vendors here have vintage items that they've picked and they've potentially upcycled them, repurposed them, and then so many of them make their own creations, and they are the most creative people you can imagine.
Today we are doing personalized hand-stamped jewelry on the spot. We have a large variety of stamps and fonts, and so you basically design your own jewelry and I make it while you shop. I think that people still have a desire for the timeless keepsakes that remind us of our childhood and just kind of bring a little bit of happiness into our souls when everything's moving so fast these days. We like to be reminded of the things that bring us comfort from our younger days.
It helps you slow down in an age when everything's all go, go, go.
I tell people, welcome taking you back in time when you come through.
In my eyes, nothing is ever too far gone to salvage. I like to take those old pieces and, I mean, you can try to make them shiny again, or I like to use them as they are. I like rust. I have rust in my home, and it just, I don't know, it gives me those warm, fuzzy feelings. I love it.
It's a great event. There's a ton of small sellers here who depend on shoppers, for their livelihood.
Every vendor here represents a family. I mean, they are a small business owner, so you are supporting them and helping them provide for their families.
These are people in your neighborhoods that have gone out on a limb, taken the risk, put together amazing products that you can enjoy.
It's a lot of fun. There's a ton of unique products to see that you can't find everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. Come on out and see what it's about.
All right, well, final check of the weather, right, Bree?
Yes, we have plenty of warmth and sunshine ahead of us. We're going to be in the upper 70s as we head into the middle of next week. We could see a few chances for rain coming back at the end of the week, but the big story this week are well above normal temperatures, warmer than normal by about 20 degrees.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, I didn't know Groundhog's Day is tomorrow.
Yes, it is tomorrow. So
hopefully the groundhog, doesn't see his shadow or does? because that will mean spring is continuing,
Coming.
right?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
coming,
I
yeah.
hope we get some longer or early spring.
Yes.
I'm a big spring lover.
Yes, me too. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. We'll be back in a few hours for News 19 at 11.
The news doesn't end here. Download WLTX Plus for free on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.